Welcome to another exciting episode of Video Game Bang. Video Game Bang. Your weekly source for all things video game. Featuring your fearless hosts, Corey Vincent.
I'm pretty much Microsoft and Marvel. The cans are on. It's when ish gets real. People get shot during the day?
And Aaron Carter.
Buy the armor, I equip it, and it's like pink thong. The guy that delivers vending machine items in my job, he can play it right.
Fill up your Mountain Dew and grab your Doritos. It's time for Video Game Bang.
What's up, pizzas? Just trying something a little different. Welcome to episode 12 of the podcast. And if you're wondering where episode 10 is, it is still in post-production. It was so fantastic, so above and beyond everything we expected. It's still being edited down. Wow, it was about a 6-hour production. We mentioned Green Day was there. We had the Sessmeister. That's what we can call him now after that.
You're talking about Adam Sessler?
Yeah.
That is what you call him behind his back?
Yeah, the
That's
Sessmeister.
terrible.
The Sessman. And so we're going to get that to you guys very shortly. It's going to be the best episode you guys have ever heard. That's fact. Also, it's exciting times for the podcast because we are now available in the Xbox Music Store, the Podcasts app. We're on, I think we're on Dogcatcher now. That one might still be pending. Digitalpodcast.com actually features us on the front page. And of course, you can always find us on the SoundCloud. And we're coming soon to iTunes and Stitcher.
We're going everywhere.
We're going global.
Man, you can get us at AM, PM.
In your bathroom.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Open the shower curtain.
If I'm in somebody's bathroom while they coming out the shower, that's disturbing. I'm sorry. I just get the cops called on me.
That's a little bit too much.
Apologies. Got to go out to our buddies, Under-Inspired. I said uninspired last week. The great YouTube channel. Check it out. They got a lot of good content coming at ya. We got a special day today because we have two guests. And the guests are going to keep on coming because next week Aaron has a special guest for us, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yes, we will.
Our first guest comes to us. He was a great mutual friend of everybody who's been on the podcast so far. He works at an unnamed electronics store. It's my great pleasure to introduce Marc Griffin to the podcast.
How's it going, everybody?
Yay!
Yeah, we got to get some. Yeah, we got to get some sound board
Sound
going in
board.
there.
It's all right. We'll work on that. I'll get some Zelda fanfare or something to play in the background. Some Final Fantasy. Just finished a battle. I don't know. We'll figure something out for me.
Yeah, well, that's coming.
That's a coming.
That's what Laura's here for.
Wow.
She's hospitality. And then later on in the podcast, we're going to have a special guest, James Hawkins. He wrote for very established websites. He was featured on Dig. He is most recently on Bit Creature. Always got some interesting stuff. And actually, we featured one of his lists on a top 10. And Aaron's going to debate him. We're going to try and see whether Perfect Dark was a better shooter than GoldenEye. So stick around for that.
It's a discussion. It's two gentlemen having a discussion.
It'll be two gentlemen. They're going to have a discussion.
Interesting.
Two men enter. Both men will leave. Both
shake
with a greater
hands.
respect for
Yeah,
each other.
exactly.
Yeah. So, Mark, I'm going to talk a little bit about him. He's an old-timey friend. He was Aaron's boss, actually. So expect him just to, out of habit, demand Aaron do that.
Wow.
And Aaron just will listen automatically.
Well,
I don't think we have that chain of command
I was
anymore.
say you might want to not expect that.
He was my boss as well.
I like to boss people around.
He's bossy. Is that what the kids are saying? He is a true, like, we're gaming guys. We're gaming bros, I'd say. But Marc Griffin is a gaming aficionado. He takes it to the next level. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your gaming past, Mark.
Well, let's see. Been playing games since '89. So started with the original Mario Brothers. That was cool and all, but really picked it up and started doing my thing with the Ninja Turtles, the arcade that came to the NES.
Turtles in Time?
Not Turtles in Time, the original.
Oh, before
the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game.
Damn, homie.
Side scrolling. It's the big one is popular in the arcades. Running through, getting to level 3.
Oh wow.
And we're just gonna. It's all right.
Wow.
We're just gonna.
This is of course what you playing theme song. What you playing? Mark, we'll start with you since you were in the middle of it.
All right. Well,
What are you playing now?
I did play a little bit of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade game the other day, so I guess we'll just reach right. It's relevant, so we'll go with that. But I'm kind of all over the place right now. I've been doing a lot of Animal Crossing on the 3DS in the spare time. Digging up fossils, fishing, bug catching. Some Soul Sacrifice on the Vita. A little bit old now, but still loving that. Sacrificing or saving people. GTA, of course. Who's not playing GTA? If you're not, you're missing out. Great game. Kingdom Hearts, PlayStation-wise, and then, PC, League of Legends. Markitar is the screen name. You can follow me. I will...
selfless plug right in there.
Hey, I gotta put it out there.
Wow.
So you can find me global, though. Markitar is the tag everywhere.
So we can have a little discussion about when we talk about our endeavors. And I guess I'm going to speak for everybody. Is that okay?
Really?
Is that okay?
I don't think so.
All right, Aaron, what are you playing?
Playing Grand Theft Auto.
Laura, what are you playing?
Grand Theft Auto.
And what I was going to say when I spoke for everybody is we're all playing Grand Theft.
But don't you feel better
Yay.
letting us have our own voice?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Oh.
That's the way to do it, Corey.
What's the purpose
Take
of us
charge.
having?
Take charge.
What's the purpose of us having mics then?
Just so he can take them away from you when he wants to.
Wow.
So,
I see the factions have been drawn already.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So this is going to be the Grand Theft Auto podcast, people. We're just going to be real here. It's all over the news. It's all over everything. It's what everybody's playing.
Yeah.
So first of all, 800 million copies sold. What the heck?
That's expected. This is a highly anticipated game. I mean, it was foretold years ago that when Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out, it was just going to blow everybody away because everybody's already waiting for something as big as San Andreas did when the closing end of PS2 went out,
That's true.
So this is closing end of Xbox, PS3. We're going into the next gen. Are we going to keep calling it next gen every single time though? Like
until it comes out, it's technically the next gen.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but this is it, and usually the big games that are like the best graphically or whatever they can get the most juice out of the box.
It's that last year.
Is that last year of the
God
game,
of War
yeah.
2 on the PlayStation 2, Kingdom Hearts 2. That was those final years. Everybody's learned the tricks and
this one has not failed from what I've played so far, and I've only played a couple of hours, between working and everything, and now doing the show. It's crazy.
Just waiting to get online and smash some fools in some tennis.
Oh my gosh!
Tennis,
I'm
man.
gonna get out of here.
Even with that small gripe of they're not having multiplayer right off the jump, it's still the single player will keep you hooked for that small period of time in between, and that's October 1st.
Storytelling is so good.
Oh yeah, the acting is great. Danny Tamborelli,
Tamborelli from
he's
Pete
awesome.
and Pete fame.
Yeah, if you like Pete and Pete, he's in there. I don't recognize anybody else really.
No. But it's his face.
Yeah, it's his face and everything, and his body size and everything.
Yeah.
they have him to a T down there.
I want to
like
check
it.
his arm for Petunia.
That's terrible. He has tattoos. Have you not read into it? Yeah,
I'm just trying to find Petunia.
Yeah, he could be.
I haven't scoped the dude out yet.
It could be on there somewhere. Could be on there.
Easter eggs. 800 million though. That's like a Hollywood blockbuster. That's bigger.
It's better than some.
Just about most of the movies that have come out.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck movies.
Wow.
Laura's
I'm
coming
sorry.
at us with
Wow.
some intensity.
And now
I'm
Ben
sorry.
Affleck is going to not follow you on Twitter anymore.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, you just lost a
Sorry.
Twitter follower.
As well as all his followers.
Exactly. Ben Affleck. How dare you? That's
Oh, come on, Aaron.
yeah. I'm not
You
a bit. He's
All right.
not going to be.
Beating up on Ben Affleck was so a week ago. He's cool now.
Well, I'll bring a little bit new to the table. I don't know if any of you guys saw the post online or whatnot, but apparently the Beeb, he hinted that he might be co-starring as
Robin.
the Robin.
I'm gonna go ahead and dethrone that one right
Right
now.
there?
Debunk
That-
it?
Yeah, I'm gonna debunk that because that was a skit for Funny or Die.
Was it? Okay.
They're playing
All right.
something Beebs was trying to troll.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
But
Yeah.
to tell you the
Oh,
truth,
thank
the way
God.
the direction that this movie looks like it's already going with Ben Affleck,
Might
I
as
just
well
wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
I would just been like,
That's
whatever.
true.
Justin Bieber, go ahead and do it.
Let's bring in Jubilee.
You might
Hey,
as well.
why not? Why not?
Kristen Stewart is Jubilee.
Yeah, we're just gonna mix the
Razzle dazzle.
We get everybody we hate in one movie. Two
might as
Chainz
well.
is gonna be the Black Panther.
Wow. And then, you know what? I would actually go watch it if 2 Chainz was Black Panther. I would watch it, and I would enjoy it.
Yep.
I would enjoy it.
He's gonna say,
Watch it again as soon as it hits that Netflix.
Yeah, because it'll hit Netflix first.
Yep.
A vibranium
Wow. That's terrible.
He's got 2 vibranium chains on him all the time.
That is horrible. That's a
Yeah.
big. I don't think anybody else is going to beat that number though this year for video
Oh
games.
no, game of the year? Do you think so far?
Ooh. What are
Well,
the candidates?
The candidates right now for me, it's it and Last of Us. Last of Us, just by far the best thing that's come out this year so far that I've finished all the way through. And I've played just about everything full through. Tomb Raider, BioShock, all the big hits. Far Cry. Well, Far Cry was last year.
Was it?
Boom.
It was December. Came out December last
Oh,
year.
it's so close. That's
yeah.
why.
So,
Okay.
Good catch, Laura.
yeah, that's why we got the
Well,
aficionado on it.
I
today.
just got it.
So I got it was a good attempt though. But but yeah, GTA so far off to a very strong start. So we'll see once I get through the campaign. I should be able to hopefully fly through that in the next 2 weeks and have a better verdict on which is going to be better.
I think the big advantage, and I don't know how much they weigh this. I don't know how it weighs, but the fact that GTA is available cross-platform is a huge advantage. Because
By far.
I didn't get to enjoy Last of Us, even though I watched a little bit of Twitch video from a good friend of ours, Jerry, who you could find on Twitch. What's his name?
It's like X Shinobi something. He changes
Shinobi.
it from week to week, so we'll link it in the
We'll
description.
link it in the
Yeah,
description.
Blind Airy.
yeah, it's like Blind
On
Airy.
YouTube,
Yeah,
I-
it's
Blind
whatever.
Airy.
Okay.
We love you.
Yeah.
Whatever's
Yeah.
available at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Jerry, we know you're listening. We love you.
But yeah, you watched it on the PS3 on his Twitch, and
It's getting some crazy reviews. I think IGN gave it a 10 masterpiece rating. Everywhere I've seen, it's just insanely highly rated.
now I wonder if that's like, because I mean,
It's
me
GTA
personally,
4 got a 10.
yeah,
You
because me
remember?
personally, I would never give anything a 10.
Ever.
You know why? Because that means it's perfect.
And you can't do better.
And and you just can't do better.
You've never played a 10?
I don't think I've ever played a 10. Even I mean, the games that I love back from my old
You're the
days.
Shallow Hal of
Yeah.
video games.
It's not. I give things 9. 9
You're
should
very-
be
It's
that
a
means
must-buy,
Yeah,
must-play.
that's a must buy. That means it's as close to perfect as you're gonna get. But I don't think anything's perfect.
Not even Skyrim.
Skyrim.
I know you
no.
have.
Skyrim's-
there's a lot of
no.
imperfections
Skyrim's
there,
got some room to
too.
grow.
And like look, Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Love Fallout 3. That's probably one of
Hmm.
my top 3 games of all time. I bought every DLC as soon as it came out, so that means I spent like $100 plus.
I think I've seen you play that more than anything else.
Yeah, I even went back and rebought it years later and still enjoyed it as much as I did the first time.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't give it a 10.
Wow.
Hmm.
So let's see.
9.8.
So yeah, this game has exploded. I was talking to a buddy of mine on the phone because I didn't get to play it until today because of some work stuff. But he said I could hear my neighbors playing it. And then I'm driving home from the job and I see some dude in the car holding it up with this giant smile in his face, leaving the
Wow.
store. Like this game is all over the world. You look on Twitter and it's GTA 5, GTA 5,
Yeah.
GTA 5,
Instagram.
Miley Cyrus,
Yeah.
GTA 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To all the businesses out there,
And
you're
then the
missing some
Apple.
employees.
It's the
GTA 5.
iOS 7.
iOS
a couple
7,
times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Instagram. Everybody's taking
Which I
pictures
don't
of their, it's Facebook, MySpace. People on Black Planet still.
So, Aaron, you
No.
actually... I'm going to go ahead and nix that one. Another big thing that's what we got to discuss, too, is... and it's getting better. On TV, if you guys have been watching the news, you no doubt heard about the tragedy shooting in Washington, D.C.
Terrible.
It is a terrible thing. And we don't joke about stuff like that on the podcast, do we?
Except for whenever the Glee guy died.
Yeah, that was funny.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
your point
Glee fan,
was.
Glee fan, Mark.
You're-
You got to remember, I've got the theater background, so Glee,
Wow.
I kind of...
Don't walk out on us, Mark. But the Washington, D.C. thing was disgusting and very stupid, but you just can't help. It's what's also stupid is when the people go on the news channels and they start trying to blame violent video games.
As if violence wasn't around before video games.
Yeah, and they're not catching it on any TV show you watch.
Oh, exactly. Sons of Anarchy. It was like
Oh.
grown man being violated. Very, very violated.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
And just right in the oven. So, I mean, if somebody gets violated like that on the street, that they're going to be like, oh, what's on TV now?
Let's
is
cancel Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I wish they would. I would riot.
You grab a gun and go shoot up a public place.
Wow. No, wow. how
Sons
dare
of
you.
Anarchy made me do
too
this.
soon.
Maybe we
Too
just
soon.
disproved our own argument.
Wow, too soon.
No, but I was in a hotel room and I was watching some Fox News of all the channels.
Why?
And there's a panel of like because it said video games
Okay.
leading to
Oh,
violence.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't watch news. And all like 4 people from different backgrounds, all were defending video games. I was impressed.
Oh, okay. That's pretty nice.
So people are getting better.
Smarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes you... Laura, you play a lot of violent video games.
Do I?
Let's see. Skyrim. You just played Call of Duty. Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You just said you like playing Gears of War. Well, you don't
Yeah.
really like, but you have Gears of
Yeah, we
War.
discussed this.
Let's see. None of these are My Little Pony.
No.
So would
No.
you say
Or
it's
Barbie.
changed? Would you say it's changed your attitude one bit?
No.
Still
I've-
kind of docile.
Yeah. I'm a mellow. I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet.
Whoa. That is my catchphrase.
Oh.
I am the nicest person you'll
Oh
ever
my
meet.
god. Oh no. Well, I'm the
Wow.
nicest
Do we finally have someone who
female.
loves himself more than Aaron on the podcast?
Impossible.
I thought so.
Impossible.
Aaron, go ahead. I know you love to talk, so why don't you tell us about your midnight launch experience?
My midnight launch. If you haven't read my small rant already on videogamebang.com, go and check it out. But I was a little disappointed. I'm gonna be honest. You know, as an employee of GameStop, ex-employee, excuse me, of GameStop, I was accustomed to a certain, I don't know, lifestyle at midnight lunches.
Okay.
I guess you could say. You know, snacks, little refreshments going around. You know, soda flowing like water. The events popping
people
off.
fanning you.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Or the workers.
Couple of cosplayers walking around, and not just the employees, but some of the people came out. I remember, you know, a long time ago, when I worked at a GameStop, and we had I think it was a World of Warcraft launch, and we had a guy come out and cosplay. Yeah, and he did a good job, you know, even though we didn't even have an event going on for it. Literally, he
I
still
remember
dressed
that.
up.
I
Yeah,
remember that. The
we
guy was
we
there.
helped him out.
You
Yeah,
guys hooked him
The-
up with
yeah.
yeah, the
sweet-
manager hooked him up with that stuff. Yeah, and it was good.
That was a
It-
good manager.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What a great guy.
But this Grand Theft Auto was just so uninspired by the employees there. I wish it was better. I really do. Because I went out there. It was a long line out to the street. You know, we've had longer, you know, or we've had just as long as well. And I don't want to say that the customers were in cosplay for Grand Theft Auto. They were just dressed in
Yeah, they were all
hood.
perfectly cosplayed. That was all an act.
Hardest costume contest ever.
Yeah,
right?
that would have been very difficult to judge. Everybody would have been number one.
Well, you said there was a prostitute-looking person
I couldn't tell if she was or if she wasn't. I mean,
dancing in the parking lot.
if she was fooling the heck out of me. Yeah, because somebody opened the door, they put their music on loud, and she got out and she was twerking and doing all her things and everything. I was like,
And you didn't have a good time?
no, because it wasn't like it was as if Miley Cyrus was out there twerking for the customers as well.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't good twerking, and there is good twerking. I don't care what you say.
So your midnight launch didn't go the way you wanted, but
No,
we
it
have a
didn't.
guy here. Looky us. We have a guy who works at a electronic gaming store. How was your midnight launch?
You know, it was big. Can't go into any specifics, but had a pretty long line. Shattered some records for my own setups. Had some raffles, gave out some stuff. Everybody was happy. Everybody who followed my instruction that came out early, like you should for the midnight launches. You know, we had water, candy, all that type of.
All the things I missed.
Yes,
That's
yes.
why.
Yeah. You got to start coming out to the
Yeah.
to somewhere else then.
Drive 8 hours.
Yeah.
To go to
Exactly.
But yeah, everybody who came out early, I had them done and gone by 12:30, and it was just the people who lollygagged and decided, oh, I'm just going to come at midnight and get the game. They didn't leave till 1 o'clock because it takes time at midnight, versus coming early. So I was very happy with the success of it, and just ready to keep playing GTA.
So Marc Griffin works at Game Store. At a game store, I mean.
Yeah, it's fair.
We're just going to call the place. We don't want to reveal too much because we don't know what we can, and we don't want to get sued because we have no money. So we're just going to call the place he works at Game Store.
Sounds good to me. I like Game Store. It's a great company.
Yeah.
So Game Store, the amazing company, sent you out on a conference recently.
Yes.
And you got some very exciting news, life-changing almost.
Yeah, it was
Life changing.
I've been to a few of our little expeditions that we go out, our little time that we get paid to go, and it's all paid for by the vendors, the guys who make the games. It's not anything by our company, which is awesome. And pretty much it's them just showing their appreciation for how well we do with their stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking home a lot of stuff. It's quite a bit.
Did you get any hands-on experience with next gen?
I did get a little bit of hands-on with both controllers for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. PlayStation 4 controller, I think wins out in the end right now. It's a little bit more comfortable. They increased the size just a slightly bit. So for those people who are more in favor of the Xbox with the bigger controllers, because we're grown people and we have grown hands for most of us, other than Laura here.
Except Laura.
But even for the people with smaller hands, it's still as great accommodating. I really like all the new touch features. And
what
everything.
games did you actually get your?
Got a little bit of time on with the whatchamacallit. Gosh, what did I play? There were so many games that I played there. Main one, I guess, would have been the Call of Duty. Got some time hands-on with that. Battlefield 4. Those were really the big ones.
Titanfall?
Titanfall, I did not. It was a very small window for the time I'm able to try stuff out, and I was literally probably about 3 hours long to go and see what I could see, and so I was sprinting from booth to booth, but still waiting in line for about 40 minutes for each thing I wanted to see for those major attractions. So,
and if we're going to be talking about the controllers here, first of all,
yeah. You want me to go back to the Xbox One controller now for you? Because I know you guys are Xbox.
We already
fans.
know that one's perfect.
I will say about the Xbox controller before we time out on me real quick.
No, not on you. I would have timed out on him.
Corey, okay.
Well, no, I should time out on you because
Okay,
you said
go
we're
for it.
Xbox people, and I believe I've proven that I'm well-rounded.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll
Okay.
give you that. The Xbox controller feels great, just like it always has. The impulse triggers that actually have that whatchamacallit, that pushes back the
they actually have
the impulse triggers, right? Yeah, so those actually feel really good. Takes a little getting used to, but once you get used to actually pulling the triggers on those, you guys are going to see some good, maybe a little bit up in your KD ratio in your Call of Duties and Battlefields. So
Excited for that, then.
Xbox trying to make gamers better.
Did you play any Sleeping Dogs?
Sleeping Dogs. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs that came out like 2 years ago.
Not Sleeping Dogs. What's the new one with the Now I'm actually blanking.
You talking
on
about
something.
the Whore of the Orient?
No.
no, not Reservoir Dogs.
It's not.
What type of game?
Watchdog?
Is it
Watch
Dogs?
Dogs. Watch Dogs.
Yeah, there we go.
I did not get any time on Watch Dogs. From what I got to watch video-wise, the Watch Dogs looks pretty crazy. The invading other people's games looks like a lot of fun.
That's what I wanted
That's
to see.
what you want to see. That
Yeah.
That is awesome. So basically, I would jump into your world as just a random citizen. You wouldn't see who I am. I have to get in range of you, and I start hacking your firewall. Depending on how strong your firewall is, depends on how long my progress bar fills up. I have to stay within range of you. As soon as you start getting hacked, you can see you're being hacked. So you have to go around and scan everybody nearby to try and figure out who it is and kill them or get them to leave your game, basically, before they crack your firewall and take your money and stuff.
It looks awesome.
It's going to be really cool for that, that really trolling out your friends type
That's
of
what it
gameplay.
seems like it's
really
all
it's
about,
what it's
yeah.
built around, I think. But yeah, that's going to be really cool. So
I wonder if they can have multiple people jump into your game.
from what they showed, they only showed one person hacking it at once. But
Well, I guess,
well, it would be pretty cool. I would agree that would be.
It's like 7 people hacking you at one time, and you're searching around, panicking. Oh yeah.
Because you can always just hop in a car and get away. If you break the minimum distance required, that would be what you would have to do once you get multi-hacked.
I think I'd be the type person. I'd just shoot everybody around me.
Just draw all the cops.
Yeah.
Max wanted level.
Yeah,
10
exactly.
seconds.
Just shoot everybody. Because then think about it. The worst thing that happens is what the cops come and shoot you. Your hack is broken.
Yeah, you're dead.
Because I'm
dead. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, I think they'd still get your stuff. It wouldn't matter.
Oh yeah, that might be a
unless they
consequence,
shoot your phone. Your phone.
There you
gets
go.
hit. There
Smash
you go.
it.
Smash
your phone.
So,
have to go buy a new one.
Mark, you work at Game Store,
and
there's a certain aura, some hatred even for the store and its employees. I wanted to give you a minute here to just address some of that stuff because, I work there. I know that not every employee is jamming advertisements down your throat.
Well, just to clarify, you worked for GameStop. I worked for Game Store.
Yeah, that's true. Totally different companies.
No, I think a lot of them are very much similar. It's a business first. They're there to make profit. So, they have certain things they have to get out to the customer base. If most of it's good, sometimes, it's a little over. It can feel overdone. But really, it's some customers you only see once or twice a year. If you don't get that every message out to them that one time they come in. You may not see them for that, they'll be back for Grand Theft Auto, but they may miss something in the middle, like Last of Us, which was kind of, wasn't a sleeper hit, but if you didn't, it's a new IP. Those new IPs, if you don't get told about them, your one trip into your game store a year, you're probably going to miss it right off the bat. But I mean, honestly, it's a lot of, I'm very honest in my work. I'm upfront with my customers because I want them to trust me. It's not about, taking all your money all at once. I don't want to, that's not what we're out to do. We want you to continually shop with us, because, you're obviously, if you're buying video games, you're a gamer, or you're somebody that's a gamer. And so, we just want to make sure we create the best experience for you. Sometimes it's a little overdone and, it's received differently from different people. And that's on the training side, and that's something that, we're working on as a company, and I work on with myself. I'm still learning new stuff every day I'm at work. So
yeah, and there's a lot of times too. They're it's the gamer crowd.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We are a very bitter and very quick to judge people.
Working there, it's very easily, in the video game, being a gamer, to be jaded by games. You get some games and you just, that are just failures, like Brink that we.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that was a lot of hype.
I was in the, what is it? Homefront.
Homefront? Oh, yeah. Homefront was another one.
I was staring, because it was either Brink or Homefront. You were either on...
I think Laura won that one, because Homefront was actually a pretty good story.
I liked it, actually. It was still a baby, but I liked it. It was going a good way. It had potential.
Did you beat that game?
No, but I was doing the multiplayer.
I mean, it was kind of good then.
Yeah, I actually couldn't get into Homefront either. So.
I couldn't.
I was going to say that seemed like a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, it was
Brink or Homefront.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
It was still better than Brink.
There would be times when I was working at GameStop, totally different from Game Store. When I was working there, and they have a loyalty program where you can save 20% or get a bonus on your trade-ins. Someone would bring in shopping carts full of video games, used, scratch. I'd run them all, and then say, okay, I'm either going to give you. So, like, he brought in 600 games. I was like, I can either give you $20 right here, or you could sign up for this card, and because of the bonuses, you'll leave with $100. But for some reason, they'd still say no. Like, I don't know why. All you got to do is sign up for the card. Well, do I have to pay for it? Yeah, but you're paying for it out of your profit, but it's really going to make you increase. You're going to end up with more.
Well, that seems like that was just all a part of how the sale, how you worded the sale.
The salesmanship.
When you say...
how you word it?
I told the man.
Sounds like you needed a better trainer.
Yeah.
No. What else do I have to tell you is if you just say this, what I'm telling you, you're going to leave with twice as the amount of money as if you don't listen to me right now.
That's what you say.
And I never have to see you again. That's basically what I said.
Some people...
you got to dumb it down to the
this is like the
lowest
guy
common denominator.
who came in looking for an HDMI cable. This is how bad of an employee he was. He came in for an HDMI cable. He was pointing at one in the back. I was like, that is $30, sir. Fry's Electronics is literally less than a quarter mile away. You can buy it for $5. Same quality, if not better. I just want that one. Sir, I don't know if you heard me. You can go a quarter mile that way and pay $5 instead of $30.
And you see, you gotta remember, some customers, they're loyalists. Once they've bought in, that's where they want to go. That's where they just want to support. It's not always about getting the best deal. Sometimes it's about supporting what you want. Small business versus big business. Regardless.
When somebody says, "Shut up and give me, take my money,"
take his money.
I would take his money.
If I was in his shoes,
yes,
I would
sir.
appreciate
You
it.
should say.
Exactly.
No, and some people do, and that's great honesty to have in salesmanship. A lot of people will, and even though he didn't take your advice then, the next time he came in, he might have taken your advice on something else. So it's all about planting that seed.
I think after the second time, what are you going to be like?
There's
No,
one
sir,
thing
I
I
will
love to
not.
do, it is
I will
plant my
not. That's disgusting.
What?
What are you going to just not sell him the cord next time?
Next time I won't.
No,
Maybe
sir, I will not sell you this cord.
Unbox it, chop it in half, and say you're welcome.
Wow.
Terrible.
All right, we got totally sidetracked. This is supposed to be the game, the GTA episode.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's the essence of GTA. You
It's
get
true.
sidetracked all the time.
Yeah, yeah. We bring it back full
See?
circle.
Exactly.
And Mark, I got told this is one comes in from a follower of us on Twitter at Diegondo. He says, Mark, why do you like to play as girls all the time?
You know, it's that's part of my escape from reality. You know, I'm a guy 100% of the time in real life, so when I'm in that digital world, why not be somebody I'm not?
Why not
And it's
strap on some digital boobies and
yeah,
go
you
make
know,
some money.
go have some fun. You know,
Strap on some digital.
but yeah, you know, it's just like a. Honestly, a lot of times I like the female character design a lot better than most of the male character designs.
I do enjoy staring at the females.
So and so if I got to be that person to give other people somebody to enjoy staring at, I'll do that.
Kyle, if you're listening to this podcast, which I know you are, I'm going to say that line one more time so you could put it in the new intro, okay? Yeah, so you can strap on some digital boobies and have some fun.
That's horrible.
I guess we will take a break. Thank you so much, Mark, for being here. He's going to be sticking around for the entire show. Coming up after the break, we have James Hawkins, special guest, the most highest profile guest we've ever had on the show. Stick around for that.
Very nervous.
Yeah, me too. So we're going to be back with more Video Game Bang.
What's up, everybody? This is Aaron Carter from the Video Game Bang. We had a small contest going on a couple of weeks ago. Probably a little, yeah. Well, we were trying to get 500 followers on our Facebook page, and we were going to give it out a free copy of Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, we didn't make it, unfortunately. Sorry, people. But we are very generous here at Video Game Bang, so we're gonna give you a special deal. October 1st is going to be the release of the Grand Theft Auto multiplayer, so to coincide with that, we're going to try to give away another free copy of Grand Theft Auto. But this time, we just want 400 followers on Facebook.
Come on, Bloods.
400. Yeah, like, come on. That's easy. Exactly.
Practically giving it away.
We are. There's no reason why we shouldn't get this, people. Come on.
So thanks for all your support, and as always, we'll see you on Facebook, www.facebook.com/videogamebangbang. Hope you enjoyed the next part of the podcast, interview with James Hawkins. And we're back. Just as we promised, we have a special, very special guest, a big fish in the games writing industry. His name is James Hawkins. You may know his work from bitcreature.com, and before that, he was in the joystick division. How's it going, James?
It's going well. Thank you for having me on.
No. Thank you for being on. Do you understand? This is a big deal for us over here.
Oh, man, it's a big deal for me, too. You know, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we did use one of your lists back in episode 9, and
Yeah,
I agreed 100%.
Wow, already? Okay.
I thought it was probably the best list I'd ever read, personally.
Let's just end the interview here, then.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, we have plenty to discuss, yes.
I'm sweating bullets. You could ask the guys. I was very nervous. But you're here, and just wanted to first let people know, guys, tell us a little about yourself, a little bit of your gaming background.
Okay. So my first console was actually a Game Boy. I played on that before I played on any, I guess, entertainment system consoles. My first one of those was the Nintendo 64. So you can see, I guess, my bias in that list towards including N64 games.
Good one, though. It's a good bias.
Right now, I play mostly Gears of War Judgment. A huge fan of playing the competitive online multiplayer. And yeah, I have been writing about games for probably almost 5 years now.
5 years. So take us through the history then. Was Joystick Division the first one you started writing for?
Yeah. I was in college at the time, and one of my friends was writing for them. They were owned by Village Voice Media, and I kind of bugged him and the editor-in-chief there to let me write. So I started writing for free for them doing weekly top 10 lists, actually, and worked my way up through the ranks there. I wrote about 15 articles a week for them after the first 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
And I guess topped out as the senior editor there.
Whoa! So you went to senior editor there. Then what happened? Because then we read the list thinking that the website was a full blown still going thing, and then saw that it looks like in 2012 they shut their doors, their digital doors.
Yeah. So there was. So we were owned by Village Voice Media as one of their many blogs, and so we were the national gaming blog for them, and they cut funding to a lot of their blogs, and unfortunately we were hit by that. So we kept going for a little while, and finally shut down. And kind of in the meantime, I kind of sat back and took stock of the games writing landscape, and rallied a bunch of writers that I knew, and founded Bit Creature, which launched in July of last year.
Yeah, I was looking at Bit Creature, and I noticed a really huge change of pace in the articles. They seem to be more essay-driven, seem to be more thought-provoking. I did appreciate that as someone who goes through, and it wasn't about necessarily breaking the stories, but it was more about thoughtful insights.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess my mentality with that was there are dozens of very capable video game news sites that have a ton of resources and a lot of insight into the industry that an independent blog really doesn't have. And so I thought kind of breaking from that ubiquitous games journalism.
Can you break down what ubiquitous means for
I think he said
Aaron?
ubiquitous.
Okay, for me?
Yeah.
But basically what I mean is, like, everyone's doing it. It's very pervasive. There's a tremendous saturation of that kind of writing in the game culture. And so I think part of it was a little bit of I had like a little bit of pent up anger from writing like 100 top 10 lists, one every week, and wanted to like break into something that was, I don't know, actually, not academic, but at least pushing the boundaries of like creative writing as well as like critical analysis.
Now, was this for profit? Were you guys profiting off of this one, or was this strictly just for your guys' creative?
Well, I financed it personally, and we did have like ad revenue, but it was the ad revenue business model is like the worst way to make money in the world. So it was like mostly about like making a dent in kind of what I shelled out, to pay the writers and keep the site going. But
oh wow! So you paid the writers out of your own pocket?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was something I was kind of determined to do. Having, I thought the best quality writing and the best writers out there are doing this as a job and as something that, they deserve to be compensated for. And so, it was a contract, I guess.
Okay. We did mention there's no compensation for this interview, correct?
Oh, wait, what?
Okay. Click.
Yeah.
And I was looking through the people who you had writing with you. There's a nice giant list here, and the name that jumped out at me particularly was Patricia Hernandez from Kotaku.
Yeah, this was Patricia came on fairly early, actually before she went to Kotaku. When she was running a website called Nightmare Mode, and her what she really brought to the table that I adored was in this space being able to kind of breach into like the more I guess creative writing style is kind of a crappy descriptor. It doesn't really do that justice. But to kind of break away from the blog roll style that I think you see a lot elsewhere. So.
Yeah, she's one of those people too. And the big reason I noticed her is because it seems like she catches a lot of flame on Kotaku.
Everybody catches a lot of flame. Like if you're a writer for a website with any readership, the guise of internet anonymity is
oh yeah,
comes with the territory, I'm sure.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, I mean seriously, writing when doing those weekly top 10 lists, man. I listened to the podcast, after you linked it to me, and I remember writing that list, and it actually made the front page of Dig back when Dig was a thing.
Awesome website,
yeah. Great website.
Yeah, and it got a lot of traffic, and there was something like, I think the article on Dig had something like 1,500 comments or something, and I would guess that at least 100 of them were actual death threats.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it's kind of hilarious. I mean, because I don't really care at all about that. I think it's kind of hilarious, but you see, people get super personal, especially if you write about stuff they don't agree with. So
yeah, and it seems like both Patricia and the way you're even talking about it you gotta have some thick skin. It seems like you guys both have that. I follow you guys both on Twitter. We are one of the few people on Twitter who I actually care to read the tweets. They're extremely good,
Thanks,
and it's about football and stuff. And we're football fans over here.
Good, yeah. That's why I couldn't do this interview on Monday, because I was watching football.
Yeah, I felt like an idiot for even asking, because that was the biggest. Yeah, that was a big game.
Oh, good.
So speaking of people who want to flame your lists, we have Aaron here.
Wow, that's pretty harsh. Flame his list?
My co-host. Actually, no, we both agreed it was a great list, but Aaron has one disagreement. I'll go ahead and let him explain.
Yeah, bring it on, man.
Well, I've read plenty of top 10 lists for first-person shooters, and over the years, it seems like GoldenEye is definitely, supreme ruler of these lists over and over again. And I grew up in that age of GoldenEye, and actually most of the shooters that were on your list, I grew up in all that age, playing all of them. But I really hold Perfect Dark very, very dear to my heart, because that was one of the first person shooters that I got that was just amazing. It, in your article, you said it took what, GoldenEye brought and it expanded upon it, right?
Right.
And to me, still today, it does things that no other first person shooters do, and it did it well at the time.
Absolutely.
And so I was wondering, I'm like, why is that one so far down on the list? Like, why hasn't that been the reigning king of first-person shooters?
Right. Well, so with top 10 lists, I guess I wrote so many of them, and I actually tried to put a lot of research kind of in a general culture, surveying the cultural landscape in the response to these games, and so if any game makes a top 10 list, it can be pretty easily argued for the best. Like if it's in that echelon, then it's probably, I think you could switch a lot of those games around and a lot of the top 10 games around, and you would still have a fairly comprehensive list of the best 10 games. And so, I can totally understand the argument for Perfect Dark being at the top. I guess my justification for it was, it came out, I think, 2 years after.
Are the cops after you right now?
Yeah, actually.
Or is that GTA in the background?
The police are here.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry, I live in downtown Seattle, and so sirens are pretty common. So it sounds like they're done. Anyway, I'm sorry. So I guess my justification for putting GoldenEye at the top of the list was coming out a few years before Perfect Dark. it really set the stage for Perfect Dark success. And they're back. Anyway, without GoldenEye, I don't think Perfect Dark would have had the foundation to become such a great entity. And so, when making that list, that was, I think, my real justification is that is an expansion upon what the GoldenEye Foundation.
But then,
I gave kudos to the one that started it.
You would think then still that GoldenEye, even if GoldenEye, if that's what your justification for GoldenEye being number one, then I would still see a Perfect Dark as like a number two. But if we're going on like that as a whole, reason why I have things, and it's just like Doom would be kind of number one because that was kind of like the first, or Return to Castle, Wolfenstein. If we're going with that, those set the stage for everything after. But if we're going on total package here, and I got to believe that that's what everybody looks at these top lists at. I mean, Perfect Dark, total package, hands down, on all day. I mean, minus, jumping, because, I mean, that was just unheard of back then for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like the weapon count that they had everything that GoldenEye had, of course, like you said, to set the stage. So you can take that game, GoldenEye, you throw it in Perfect Dark, and then you add on a whole bunch of different challenge modes, different multiplayer, adding bots, disarming, which you still did not see in the game today, which I have no idea why.
That's a really good concept that I'd like to see make a comeback.
Yeah, come on now. Where's my expansion on a game that I believe was already, for lack of a better word, perfect?
Right.
Oh wow, I see how he did that.
Wow,
very nice. Exactly.
On there. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think
what Aaron basically wants is for you to renounce your list.
Well,
no, you don't need to. No. I would never want the man to renounce his list. That is his opinion. My opinion as well would be for you to switch 10.
Right. Yeah. If I still had access to the CMS, I would go back and swap them. But no, I think that's a super good argument. That the fact that even though Perfect Dark never achieved quite the commercial success that GoldenEye did, a lot of the things that it added to the genre and to multiplayer games are super pervasive even now. Like bots, for instance. Being a fan of Gears of War, that's been a huge part of their multiplayer experience is bots. And Time Splitters was another one that really kind of took off on that. And even the James Bond franchise, I remember when Nightfire came out, that was one of the first games I ever played that had bots that also had unique personalities.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was huge.
Well, wait. Perfect Dark as well, actually, first.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that even though GoldenEye has, had this commercial success and is more widely known, I think that there are a lot of elements that Perfect Dark brought that are, with us today and people are still building on, that it doesn't get the credit for.
Why do you think that is? Is it just because of the commercial sales? Like it just didn't.
Just because it had Pierce Brosnan.
Right. It's the name. It's the household name. 007, James Bond, GoldenEye. That's household name. If you grew up in our era or older, James Bond.
Yeah. Right. And I think, I guess with GoldenEye, it had the huge benefit of being a licensed title. So, having the James Bond world, and especially such a great action movie in GoldenEye to kind of build itself around, that was tremendously powerful for its success. But I think it also limited it in terms of how creative and how imaginative they could be.
Very true.
And so Perfect Dark is an example of taking that foundation without the limits of the world and expanding really broadly on it. And so, Joanna Dark is not going to sell as many copies as, James Bond is, but they had a freedom in developing it and creating this world that GoldenEye just didn't have, because it had to stay true to the source material.
That's what I'm talking about. Resolution. We all come together. We're all friends now. Aaron is.
Oh, we were always friends.
He's got the biggest grin
Smoke
on his
is not
face
coming
because he's
in
happy.
anymore.
Biggest grin on his face.
He's a very proud man, James. I apologize for him.
Wow.
He told him exactly what he wanted to hear tonight.
Wow.
Right.
James, tell us where can we read your material now?
Well, so I had to shut down Big Creature, unfortunately, back in May. I got laid off from a job, but I started a new one about 6 weeks ago, and so kind of getting that squared away has been first and foremost my priority. But I have freelance for Paste magazine some, and I do hope to dive right back into either my own project or any of the blogs that'll take my work.
Well, if you don't expect payment, we'll always take your work.
Yeah.
You are one of the greatest unmined talents, I think, in the video game writing, and we do super duper appreciate your time.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And like I said, I have a tremendous backlog of top 10 lists. Some really bad, but most, I think fairly, well researched at least. And I would be happy to justify my decisions on those anytime you guys like. So
Great.
I want to see the worst one. I want to see the worst. That's what I want.
through 'em.
Anytime you need to, you want to come out, and when your new projects are ready and you want an outlet to talk about them, please let us be the first ones.
Absolutely, man. And I gotta say, you guys came on my radar when you hit me up on Twitter, and I think I've listened to 4 of your podcasts now, and I think you guys are doing really great work. It's super entertaining and hip, and yeah, you guys got great personalities. So keep that up. Keep up the good work.
Oh, I'm blushing.
Oh,
All right, James,
too.
keep up with us on Twitter. Go ahead. Where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me at James Hawkins. But the I is a 1.
And there's an underscore, right?
Yeah. What's that?
Underscore?
No, it's just one word, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll check it and we'll link it and do all that great stuff. But again, thank you so much, James Hawkins. We look forward to having you back.
All right, man. Thank you. Take care.
All right, brother. Yeah, again, that was James Hawkins. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We look forward to some more with him. We're going to have plenty more topics and things that are going to require some expertise. We've been having a great time here with Mark today. And Aaron, we have another special guest that we're going to have in the coming weeks. Should we reveal who that guest is, or do we want to keep it anonymous before she realizes that we're just a hack show and decides not to show up?
I'd say we play this one close to the chest, but it's definitely, you want to come and watch this or listen to this one. You definitely want to listen to this next one.
This is about James Hawkins level.
Oh yeah. And if he was pretty big, then she's pretty big. Yeah. That's kind of undercutting everything. If she was pretty big, he's pretty big.
Yeah. These exciting times for the podcast. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about today? Mark, you always got something. We're flying by the seat of our pants.
Where can we follow you at, Mark?
Actually, I don't do the Twitter. It's one of the few things I don't really do.
Wow.
Even Aaron's on the Twitter.
I know,
and I tweet every once 3 days.
I think I did sign up for a Twitter way back in the day just to follow Borderlands for those golden gearbox, the golden keys from Gearbox. So I have one. Couldn't tell you what it is though. I'll have to look it up. Maybe I'll get it to you guys so you and be a little more vocal since now I'm on the show. I got my 15 minutes of internet fame.
So I can't think of too much more. Did you guys catch that last episode of Breaking Bad?
I'm currently on season 2, episode 5. So I'm making my way through Breaking Bad.
So did Walter die yet?
Yeah, Walter's dead.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. The main character.
You saw that episode?
Yes, the main character Walter's dead.
Okay.
I believe it.
Okay.
The show carried on for another 6 seasons.
I stopped watching it.
It took me this is my second attempt watching it. I got about halfway through the first season the first time, and I just couldn't grow attached.
Aaron,
and then
so good.
this time I've actually putting in some effort to watch it. Plus, all my other shows are done for the next 2 weeks. So
I'm a Sons of Anarchy fan. Sorry.
Character development.
Doctor Who here.
Ah, yeah. Doctor Who as well, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, they announced they're going to be doing a spin-off series of The Walking Dead. Did you guys catch that?
I didn't.
But why?
Who are
why
they?
not?
Who are they focusing on?
Brand new characters.
More zombies. That's who they're focusing
Well-
on, the life of a zombie this time.
This one is going to be a brand new cast of survivors in a different part of, I'm assuming, the United States, but no relation as of yet to any of the current characters or storylines. That's awesome.
Could be interesting. I mean, it's doing well. It's one of the most talked about AMC shows. So I don't see why they don't.
It's a long story, though. I think I have to start from the beginning.
Well, they don't have to pick up from the beginning. I mean, they can just pick up right and this is where our camp is at. This is what we're doing now. you know?
Well, the people who are going to watch it should theoretically know enough about the storyline.
Yeah, they don't need to be like, oh, what is this? What's going on with the people? We don't understand.
Yeah. They're all infected, by the way.
Do you watch that, Laura? Walking Dead?
No.
What do you watch besides
Doctor
Who? Wow,
Just
really? That's
Doctor
it?
Who.
I don't.
She's giving her love to Doctor Who, and nobody else can have it.
Wow.
I only give my love to one show at a time. Because that's the only time I
That's
can
what
afford.
you want in a woman, Aaron.
Is
You
it?
don't want someone who spreads her love around.
Yeah, I guess
Same way with men.
Wow. That's nice though, I guess. Yeah.
So one thing, Mark, everyone's been asking this on Twitter. It's been tweeting insanely. People are wondering if you're going to let me have your Xbox One, since you obviously don't want it.
Wow. No. First and foremost, sorry. We go way back, bud. But the Xbox One was that system that I wanted, but I just didn't want to pay for. So those are generally the ones. Now, if you'd asked for my PlayStation 4, I still would have said no, because that's $400. And but are you going
to get these at launch?
I'm expecting them at launch. Yes,
Whoa.
I'm expecting them at launch.
Dang.
So a little bit earlier than your 4 p.m. at your doorstep. A little more exciting. I'm hoping, honestly, I get them a little bit early. Would be nice.
Don't push it.
I'm getting the Beyond Two Souls for the PS3. I'm getting that early. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Be able to play that before everybody else and come in and just give spoilers to everybody to ruin the game.
That was totally the one time I was ever truly jealous of a GameStop manager. I was like, I'm doing something wrong with my life. I should be the manager of a retail store.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's a huge bonus. You
No.
probably make more than me now because of that. If you were to,
I got a couple grand of stuff.
if you equate that
It's-
to straight monetary value, that's a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, so I'm very happy about it. It's a long time coming.
Yeah. Everybody that's listening hates you right now.
Yeah, and it's okay because I tell everybody else who hates me, I wear the hate like a glove. Like a glove.
50 said, go ahead and switch your style up.
Wow.
And if they hate, then let them hate. And watch
Wow.
the game systems pile up.
You got any shout outs, Laura?
Shout out from me.
Wow.
Follow me on Twitter
What is your Twitter handle?
at LoriMar87.
And you want to spell that for everybody?
LoriMar87.
All right. You
There
can
it
find her on Video Game Bang. Mark doesn't tweet. What do you do?
No.
I play games. That's
Wow.
why you guys come to me for information.
Well, he did give out his.
I give out my tag.
His
my
tag,
tag.
yeah.
So if you
He's
need
like-
info, send me a message.
like the
PSN,
video game
Xbox Live.
encyclopedia.
Oh, I did leave
Yeah.
out my Wii U. I've been playing Pokemon Rumble Blast.
Oh, wow.
Collecting the little Pokemon toys.
Aaron, you can find him.
At YDAAK. That's my Twitter handle. Hopefully I tweet a lot more. I try to make a mid-year resolution, I guess, to tweet more.
Yeah, you said you were going to Instagram more too.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I should. I just, it's kind of hard finding, pictures to take.
Yeah.
Appropriate
pictures.
Yeah, I don't do selfies. I'm sorry. Not too many. I mean, I'll take that back because I
Yeah,
took
I
a
was gonna
whole
say.
bunch of them for Instagram one time, but,
Yeah. And me, you can find me in the club. It's going down. Find me on Twitter.
50 Cent is
It's
coming
going
after
down.
you. After this episode, 50 is coming after you.
My Twitter handle is RealCRV at RealCRV, and then just check us out on Facebook, please. we won't spam you.
Let me do another one. I gotta make sure I shout out Madison Mata for showing all the love that she can show. So.
All right, and that's how we'll end it. That was depressing. And as always, we'll see you on the internet.